Hey, four of you watching, what's up? What's up? Welcome to America Live, guys. 2 p.m., Las Vegas, Nevada. How are you doing? Dangote is not shutting down. He is not shutting down. He is open for business. When will they get the memo? When will they get the memo, guys? Post your thoughts and comments in the chat. When will the saboteurs get the memo? A $20 billion company, currently valued at $20 billion, projected when the IPO launches this year, is expected to raise $200 billion. So when will they get the memo that Dangote is not going anywhere? Why can't they just toe the line? There's a reason why we have a free market. You compete based on merit. You compete based on quality. I'm talking about the oil and gas sector, pretty much all sectors. You compete based on merit, you compete based on quality, you compete based on customer service, you compete based on the global demand. That's how you compete. Since when has competing based on rumor mongering has ever helped any enterprise? So rumors of Dangote Refinery shutting down has been circulating across the internet, which prompted Nigeria's very own oil refinery to issue a public statement in the official Dangote Instagram page. Guys, the best and only way for you to know in today's age of falsities and false news, just if you like a company and you want to stay up to date with that company, follow their Instagram page, follow their company website. Most of them have a blog page or a news page. That's the best way to get up-to-date information on any organization or companies that you are particularly interested in. Some might ask, well, why even bother? Why does Dangote even bother responding? Do you know why he has to do that? It's because people tend to believe everything that they see or everything that they read or everything that they hear. And if it's not addressed, people tend to take it and run away with it. So you see, he has to defend his turf. A $20 billion company that hasn't even really started yet. If you guys think about it, the oil refineries, what, has it even been operational for a year? Has it? $20 billion invested. You guys know what's happening with like Venezuela right now. You know, Dangote currently purchases 100 million barrels of crude oil from the United States annually. So with the way things are happening right now in Venezuela, it's pretty much opened up You know, the United States is going to sell Venezuela oil to Dangote. Whether he's going to be able to refine it or not is another issue. Because unlike Nigeria's sweet, light crude oil, the Venezuela oil is actually very heavy and very difficult to refine. So I can see the US right now, they're trying to offload a lot of crude oil from Venezuela. So I can kind of see them selling it to Dangote. It's not as if he's going to get a price cut or a discount. He's going to pay the market rate. But the bottom line is this. There are rumors, and those, I think Dangote has actually labeled them. They're trying to sabotage what he is currently doing. Dangote is not preventing anybody from competing in the marketplace. Put your money where your mouth is. If you want to be in the oil and gas field today, the best way for you to actually compete, to be honest with you, remember, Dangote is not playing around with local oil and gas importers in Nigeria. Dangote is competing with the Chevrons of the world and the Saudi Aramcos and the BPs and the who else? Exxon Mobil. That's Dangote's mates. That's who he's competing with. But unfortunately, the man has to, I think not him per se, but his PR team, they have to address every single time there's a rumor of the company shutting down, closing up shop, just to get people all riled up. The company has to go and address that is not true. It's false. You don't just wake up and just throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, I'm leaving the game. It doesn't work like that. So for the record, we're going to look up in a second. I'm going to pull up the Instagram post and then we're going to read it and go over it. There's actually a new development as well, a new shift as well. Man, Dangote is trying to run people out of business. He's going to run a lot of people out of business. And if you want to compete, you see what he's doing right now is he's basically killing the market right now. We're going to address it once I pull up the Instagram post. I'm going to read and see what's up. 699 naira per liter is what is currently offering. I don't think anybody can beat that now. I don't think anybody can beat that in Nigeria. So then what becomes of the oil importers? You're not going to be able to beat him in quality. He is so far gone. Dangote is so far gone. Like he has basically separated himself from any competition. Unfortunately, I'm going to say, it's sad to say. Who else is really competing with Dangote or can compete with Dangote at scale? I'm not talking about local supplies. I'm not talking about locally. I'm talking about, he said Dangote is playing an international game. The majority of the people who are spreading these rumors are playing locally. It's like Diego Maradona playing against somebody from Bendel Insurance. That's where it's become right now. So I'm glad that he's addressing it. I think it's something that he should definitely continue issuing statements dispelling these false rumors circulating around. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the press statements and let's dissect it together. Let's look at the statement, see what's going on here. So this statement was issued and signed by Dangote's management on January 5th, 2026. I would have addressed it this last week, but I was at the CES conference in Las Vegas. 4 days. I was gone for 4 days. As much as I wanted to do a live session, I was just too busy. You guys go back. I did a live session on the CES 2026 brief, which, by the way, Nigeria was absent. Majority of African so-called brands and companies went there. Go ahead and watch that brief that I did earlier this morning. It's on the Rich and Bereket YouTube channel. So according to the press statement, Dangote Refinery, petroleum refinery, is not shutting down in bold red. The production remains ongoing, stable, and uninterrupted. According to this statement, the refinery continues to supply 40 to 50 million liters of PMS every day through the end of this month. Subject to market demand, obviously. Nigeria, we consume, we don't produce anything. So the demand is not going away. I wish we should. Again, I don't know what it's going to take for Nigeria to shift from a culture of consumption to a nation of production, which is that's actually the problem that Dangote is solving right now with the refinery. How many liters of petrol does Nigeria consume per day? Does anybody know? I don't have that information. If you know, post in the chat. Let me know. So PMS is here in the United States, we call it gas, petrol. You guys call it fuel, fuel. In Nigeria. So the statement said that on January 4th, the refinery produced 50 million liters of PMS. This is refined, not crude, refined. And evacuated 48 million liters. What do they mean by evacuated? Do they mean export? With current stocks covering over 20 days of national consumption. Routine maintenance on select units does not affect overall output. PMS diesel jet A fuel continues through fully operational processing units. The refinery maintains an ex-gantry price. Let's sit on that for a second, guys. I'm looking at my 50-inch screen monitor. 699 naira per liter. But it doesn't mean that that is not for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, though. You have to be a petroleum operator. You have to be in an oil and gas space in Nigeria. So originally, it was hedged at 500,000 liters. That was the minimum purchase. Quantity, rather. At 699 naira per liter. But they've since cut that down by 50% to 250,000 liters. If you want to pick up Dangote fuel wholesale at 699 naira per liter, you have to buy a minimum of 250,000 liters. So let's do the math. 250,000 times 699. That is 174 million naira. What is the current exchange rate today? Is it 1425? I think it's dropped. Let me check. I use an app called Sendwave. See what the going rate is currently. Today, January 12th. So my app says 1465. The dollar to 1465. So let's divide Trying to see how much you have to cough up. So 174, 750 divided by 1450. 1465. So you got to cough up a minimum of $120,000 for you to be able to buy from Dangote at that 699 naira per liter rate. And also, guys, that is also delivered to your filling station. So the refinery remains an ex-gantry price of 699 naira per liter, available to all marketers and bulk consumers without discrimination. I think they should have put there, though. I think in a separate post, they did post there that you have to buy a minimum of 250,000 naira. We're going to look at that now. Sorry, 250,000 liters minimum. So we're going to look at that shortly. So reports suggesting a shutdown are false and misleading. Nigerians are advised to disregard unverified claims and rely on credible information. Like I said, the best place for you to get that credible information, if you're actually interested in Dangote like I am, is just follow the company's Instagram account, which I have open here. So the company remains committed to steady supply, price stability, and Nigeria's energy security. So he has addressed it. He is not going anywhere. He's here to stay. Let's look at, no, I don't want to message Dangote, but let's look at what else. Let's look at this. So look at this ad on the Instagram page. This is the one announcing the 699 liter, officially actually 699 liter. And I think it says there it's open for business. I think the minimum now is 250,000. 250,000 liters. Yes, minimum order requirements of 200,000 liters. So you got to really come up with 100 and an equivalent of 120,000 naira. And the information is there on their site for those with a filling station who are interested in lifting Dangote Petroleum. But you have to register. There's another one here. You have to register your petroleum station to benefit from their competitive gantry price of 699 per liter. Okay? So it's a free direct delivery service and it should commence soon. Like I said earlier, the original minimum order requirement was 500,000 liters, but it's now been cut down to 250,000 liters. So let's go ahead and stop sharing for a second and then let's look at this. Let's look at CJ. How are you? I missed you, CJ. I'm back, but I'm not back for too long though, because I am on a business trip journey this year. My objective this year is to attend as many summits, business summits, enterprise summits as I can all over the world, not just the United States. I have plans for Switzerland. I have plans for Japan. I have plans for Nigeria. You know, IPO, the Dangote IPO. You know, shit, talking about the IPO, I checked my fidelity. So I have US stocks and US index funds as well. Oh my God. My positions are performing so beautifully. Guys, you know, they always say, you gotta make money work for you. It took me a while to understand that concept. When your money is working for you, you are sleeping and your money is like, you guys watch Shark Tank? If you haven't been watching Shark Tank, go ahead and start watching Shark Tank. They break it down how I like how Mr. Wonderful functions. He looks at money as little soldiers. You send them out there to go and bring in more. I'm just looking at green, green, green. My Fidelity account, the brokerage firm that I use to buy US stocks and index funds. So my thing right now is indexing, S&P 500 index funds, and then my standalone position is Walmart. I'm actually expanding that this year. I'm comfortable with Walmart. Do you know why I'm comfortable with Walmart stocks? It's because I worked there for nearly 18 months. I know it's almost like insider trading, but it's not insider trading. It's more like insider information. When you understand the company, you are able to invest in that company uh, with ease, with relative peace of mind. You know, Walmart is the fabric of the United States economy. It's not going anywhere. And they've just recently partnered with OpenAI. This is the time to be alive. I'm excited about Dangote Refinery, but I am not going to hedge all of my investments there. You see, the US markets, oh my God, go back, go and watch. When you're done with this, guys, go back and watch my brief today on the posture of AI agents. I broke it down on the future. I'm showing you guys the future. The future is in companies that own the AI tech stack. NVIDIA is number one. I'm a very conservative investor. I'm not reckless. I don't do meme stocks. I don't do fancy stuff. I'm part of the reason why I'm investing in Dangote IPO when it drops later this year. We're already in January. You see, the way that I structure my year, I structure my year in 9 month circle. Meaning I'll go hard from now to like September. And then starting in Q4 is generally when I relax a little bit to close out the year. But you know, he said that he's dropping his IPO and is projected to raise $200 billion by the, think about it for a second, by the end of 2026. A company that's worth 20 billion today, I'm talking about Dangote Oil Refinery, is going to be worth 200 billion. Are you going to participate or are you going to get left behind? At this CES convention that I went to, the CES conference that I went to, the Consumer Electronics Show, technology, biggest technology conference in the world that I just finished on Friday, I was so tired. I walked 10 miles a day. I was so tired. Sitting in those keynote sessions, sitting down and interviewing. I'm going to post up a video too. You know, I had a chance to talk with the guys at Doosan Robotics. I'm going to post on the video later on today. They're a Korean-based company. So I'm looking forward to the IPO dropping. You know, maybe I'll throw in $1,000 at it. Maybe I'll just buy shares for $1,000 and just see what happens with it. For those of you, majority of you who are watching, you're based in the United States, go to Fidelity Brokerage. You see, in Nigeria, they don't teach us stocks, investing in stocks and index funds. Unfortunately, I didn't start investing in stocks and index funds in my 40s. So it's not, if you're asking if it's going to be a Nigeria only IPO, it is not. You can buy the stocks in Naira and then they'll pay dividends in dollars. But here's the secret to this. It's not like when they pay you your dividends, you take it and you go to the joints and you go and buy land. Don't do that. Reinvest your dividends. Don't touch it. It's a set and forget investment. Give it. I may never ever touch my Walmart stocks. I may never ever touch my S&P 500 index funds ever. It's probably just going to pass on to my kids. And what's today? Today is the 12th. Every month, like clockwork, on the first of every month, like clockwork, I buy index funds and I buy Walmart stocks. It's about to change because I am adding Nvidia to my position. I am adding AMD to my position. What I mean by position is I'm buying AMD stocks and I'm buying Nvidia stocks. Let's look at what Nvidia stocks is going for right now. And as soon as I pull that up, I'm going to share my screen with you. CJ, where have you been? Have you deleted your message or you retracted something? How are you? So let's look at Yahoo Finance for a second. What do you guys think? Do you think Dangote is going away? I've told you guys it's too big to fail. A $20 billion company just doesn't fail like that. Let's say the ticker is NVIDIA. I don't know what the ticker is. Okay, there it is right there. NVDA. That's a ticker. As soon as I pull it up, I'll show you guys right now. Oh, whoa, whoa. Let me share my screen with you guys. See, this is why I like doing this live, man. Live on Zoom, actually, because I can share my screen with you guys. So NVIDIA Corporation, the ticker is NVDA. It's currently $184.94 per share. It actually dropped 6 points a little bit. It went down to 184.88. Pay attention, guys, to NVIDIA Corporation. Please, if you don't do anything in this life, pay attention to NVIDIA Corporation, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So here's the thing. It's not because it's $184.94 doesn't mean you should just hey, here's the thing. You can buy in batches. So let's say if you have $50, you can put $50 towards Nvidia. You don't have to have paid 184.94 all at once. So that is the current stock price of Nvidia. Is $184. I honestly thought it would be a lot higher than that. Let's look at it. So before I move on from this, pay attention to Nvidia. As a matter of fact, let's go to their website. Is it nvidia.com or nvidia.tech? Agree. So this guy, the CEO of Nvidia, he had a keynote at CES. Nvidia is currently partnering with, oh my God, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. They are partnering with data companies. They're partnering with industrial companies. They just recently partnered with Siemens. So this company's AI, wait a minute, did they? Did I just see something in San Francisco? I just might be interested in going. Let's see. NVIDIA. Okay, so the NVIDIA GTC Experience GTC 2026, March 16 to 19. I mean, are they go now? The latest AI breakthroughs, unique training and networking, and hundreds of inspiring sessions. It all starts here. So, something like this, I'm going to look into going. It's in San Jose. I'm probably just going to fly there because it's going to be about a good 8 hour road trip for me. So, I'm probably not going to drive. But something like this, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and screenshot it. Let me screenshot it for a second. Yeah. So something like that. Probably I'm probably going to be interested because I had a chance to tour the NVIDIA floor at the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas as part of the CES 2026. All that information is on the YouTube channel. Check out the events and conference playlist on the YouTube channel. So let's go back to the Yahoo Finance and let's search AMD ticker. Advanced micro devices. They make compute. Also, AMD is actually higher. It's $207.69 per share. They've gone up $4.52. Wow, 2.2%. So they went from, yeah. So you want to look at AMD, advanced micro devices, and you also want to look at NVIDIA. Let's look at Walmart. This is one of my positions. No, Walmart's about 118, something like that. Okay, so it's 117.90, technically 118. Guys, if you want a set it and forget it position, a company that you can sleep well at night, invest in Walmart stocks. You don't have to pay the 117.97 right away. You can throw $50 at it. Maybe every month or so, like clockwork, you just budget that $50. Instead of sending the money home for remittances. Actually, I'm waiting for the dirty December figures to come in. And then I'm going to do a live session on that. Because last year it was like, what, $75 million was spent in a 30-day window, December 1st to December 31st of 2024. About $75 million exchange hands in Nigeria. This dirty December that just passed, they are projecting 150 million. Some people are even saying $200 million. So instead of, I'm trying to get you guys away from the remittances. See, I wish I had this information when I was younger. So you want to look at Walmart stocks. See, this one I know for sure because I was an insider. What else? Let's see. So we have Nvidia at 184. We have AMD at 207, yeah. And then we have Walmart at 117 per share. What else you guys want to look at? Google is actually, Alphabet is actually pretty hot right now. See what Alphabet's going for. Ooh, 332.73 per share is what Alphabet is going for right now. Who else do you guys want to look at? Let's look at Caterpillar. $629.77 per share. Caterpillar and Nvidia are in partnership today. American companies. Dangote even said it. He said, knowing what he knows today, he would have just put his money in top United States Fortune 500 companies. Guys like Caterpillar and guys like Nvidia and AMD, Walmart, those guys like in the top, maybe Fortune 50. And that is why currently my ratio is 75, sorry, is 70-30. So I put 70% towards the S&P 500 and 30% towards standalone stocks like Walmart. And as a matter of fact, Walmart is also indirectly part of the S&P 500. That's like the top Fortune 500 US companies. Yahoo Finance is also a platform that I think you should start becoming familiarized with. Like, get into the habit of checking Yahoo Finance. I can't speak for Nigerian SEC or Nigerian Stock Exchange. There's only two companies that I'm interested in Nigeria. Is Dangote when it goes public, and then Bua Foods. I'm not really doing anything like maybe Dangote Cement, or I'm not doing any of that. I'm very conservative. Like I said, the majority of my investments, United States stocks and index funds. And if I'm going out of that, I'm not going outside as of currently. Oh, it may change in the future, but I'm not going outside of Dangote and Boa Foods. A friend of mine does banks, like he likes investing in bank stocks like Senate. That's his thing. It's more a little bit of an oil and gas portfolio here and there, but the majority of his investments are in the Nigerian financial systems. The first banks, the UBAs, like the legacy brands. So you want to bookmark Yahoo Finance, guys, and then just come occasionally and just play with it. Just pick any company. Like I picked, let's say, what's another one? What's another one? Adobe. What is Adobe going for? So Adobe is $327.65 per share. So this is where America's wealth is. Top, top companies like this. The American economy is too strong to fail. And like I said in the CES 20, let me stop sharing this for a second. In the CES, on my CES 2026 brief, America has the AI tech stack on lock. I talked about it. I'm not going to repeat so too much about it in this session because this session is about Dangote. The way that the world interacts with the United States dollar, the currency of the globe, is the same way that the world is going to interact with American tech stack, American artificial intelligence tech stack. Unfortunately, our beloved country, Nigeria, is nowhere to be found when it comes to technology. Developing an app, you're calling yourself a technologist. This conference that I went to blew my mind. Totally changed the way that I saw things. I'm like, how am I going to start 2026? I want to do something a little bit different in 2026. I want to set unimaginable goals in 2026. Even if I miss, I'm still playing amongst the stars. I didn't know anything about or the extent of the impact of the American AI tech stack. $100 trillion. The world right now is capped at $100 trillion. The experts, people who've been doing this far longer than me and you, are saying that artificial intelligence tech stack is going to blow through that ceiling. They are projecting a $300 trillion GDP. 300 trillion. The US currently is at 30%. Global GDP currently is 100 trillion. The US provides 30 trillion. That's 30%. So if this is true, all those companies that I just showed you, the Walmarts, the the Dangotes, and this is actually the right time. Oh my God. Is Dangote a genius or is he a genius? But the interesting thing though that let me say I'm a little concerned about Dangote. Where's CG? Laja, what's happening? Oh, it's Laja that retracted his message. Listen, I missed you guys. So back, when was the last time you guys heard Dangote talk about AI? I don't I don't really see him talking about artificial intelligence that often. Do you guys see? Maybe is there something I'm missing? If there's a clip out there of Dangote talking about artificial, please send it to me. After all that, I unfortunately missed the panel due to a family experience. I will go back and watch it. How was it? Will you do it again? The panel, if you're talking about the panel, well, the one and only panel we held on January 3rd, it was okay. We had two people on the panel. I wasn't able to book man, CJ. Initially, my goal was to have 14 people. Do you know how difficult it was to book 14 people over the holidays? Some people agreed initially and then they checked their schedule and said they couldn't do it. But I was able to get two people onto that panel. So you should go ahead and watch it. It's like fintech meets entertainment. Someone from the fintech space and someone from the entertainment. We had a pretty good time. It was about an hour long. I'm going to do it again, but it's not really a priority at the moment. It's not really a priority for me at the moment, but I'm going to do it again at some point. Right now, where my head is and where my focus is, and at least the contacts that I've been getting are more from industrial companies like the Doosan's and the Caterpillars, and those are the type of people that are reaching out right now, wanting to have a conversation. You know, my wife and I actually talked about it over the weekend. Like my ceiling right now is super, super high. Sorry, not my ceiling, my floor is super high. And Kate was like, what about the small businesses in Nigeria? What are you going to do with those ones? I'm like, I don't know. Because for some reason, my floor, 2025 has been great for us. My floor has risen. So occasionally, I'm going to feature smaller companies and smaller brands here and there. But right now, because honestly, for some reason, I don't know why, we are starting to really attract, the American brand is starting to now attract enterprise companies. And that's why I want to expand my environment as well. Like I'm glad that I pulled up the NVIDIA site because I didn't know about the San Jose event happening in San Jose. So Las Vegas is only an hour flight. So we're gonna hop on a quick flight, head out there, do the convention, see what's happening, see what people are doing, see what people are talking about. So that's where we want to be as a company and as a media, earned media sort of, I don't know, is that what we are? So we're interpreting what I'm bringing to the audience is more of an interpretation. I look for signals when I go to these events. I'm not going there to play around. I go and I attend these events to look for signals. I've already mapped out what I want to do for the year. So you're going to be seeing more from us from the oil and gas sector, obviously the tech sector, the finance sector, the aviation sector, the infrastructure and energy sector. We want to bring you enterprise level content and enterprise level conversations. But occasionally, I'm still going to open the nyash of Nigerians, though. Here and there, I will open the nyash. Here and there. But right now, I'm not gonna mention the name of the organized the company, but it's like PR level conversations is what we're having right now. At the highest level, guys. You see, when I've always told you about the importance of environment. If you want to grow in life, remember growth is also relative. Where I see myself and where you see yourself 5 years from now, that's what I've always said. You can't really measure outcomes by opportunity. We may be in the same country, and that's why I stopped collaborating with Nigerian businesses. I tried it before, but where my mind was, and the kind of execution and the kind of discipline and the kind of principles that I have, they just couldn't meet up. So it was fun. Made a lot of connections, man. Made a lot of connections in the 4 days that I was gone. You know, it's not about the money. You see, I kind of look at myself as I'm a signals chaser. I like knowing what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years from now. Where is the world going? Where is the puck going? That's what motivates me. That is what gets me up in the morning. You see, money follows things like that. When you wake up every morning and then you check your stocks and they are performing excellent for you, and you see green, not red, who is making all of this happen? That's who I want to be around. Which companies are partnering with which companies? I would not have known had I not gone. If you are, okay, start getting outside of just being on the computer. Most businesses are still done in person. People are still doing millions of dollars of deals at the golf course, shaking hands, looking people in the eyes. That's still where the majority of global deals happen. It's not online, guys. It's not online. I'm not saying you have to be in the US or you have to come to the US. If you're in Nigeria watching this, Kenya, South Africa, wherever you are, start locally there. But I'm telling you, there is never, this is the best time to be alive. This is the best time to be an entrepreneur. This is the best time to be an explorationalist, if there's such a word, meaning explore, start thinking outside the box. Start finding comfort in discomfort. Like I said in the brief earlier this morning, I'm not a techie. I'm not a tech guy like that. But I had to be around technologists. Man, what the world is building right now. That is what CES does to you. At least events, conventions, and conferences and summits like CES. These guys are not looking at what's already happened. They are looking at what's about to happen. If you're not part of that conversation or you're not part of that circle, you're going to be left behind. You are going to be reactive. Look, if nothing else, make 2026 a proactive year. You can't be reactive anymore. You can't afford to be reactive anymore in anything that you do, in your business, at your job, among your circle of friends and family. You got to start becoming more and more proactive and less reactive. You see, everything that we're doing right now, I'm telling you guys, on AI, ChatGPT, it's all reactive. You know that, right? When you prompt a ChatGPT to do something for you, to complete a task for you, to write something for you, that is all reactive. Right now, they are building proactive AI agents. Super AI agents is what the world is building right now. And that is what concerns me a little bit about Dangote is I don't really see much AI integration. The sort of autonomous mobility, autonomous engineering that I saw in this convention that I went to, I don't see Dangote doing all that stuff. Does it mean that he doesn't raise his $200 million? I think he's still going to raise his $200 million. But if Dangote wants to compete, you see, it's one thing if you are competing locally there with Nigerian importers. When you start dealing with the Saudi Aramcos and the Chevrons and the Exxon Mobils, you got to automate. You have to automate. Because those guys are going to flog you. They will put you over their lap, take that paddle and pound your butt. And I just laugh when I see so-called Nigerian companies and Nigerian businesses. Guys, Nigeria is so far behind in everything. It is a shame. Where's the automation in Nigeria today? You can't visit a website without getting timed out. I tried, what do you call it? Updating my passport on the Nigerian website. It timed out on me. In the day and age where everybody is building around artificial intelligence, autonomous, agentic AI, robotics, humanoids, your website is still timing out. It's a problem. Family emergency. I hope everything is okay. CJ on your side. Hope your family is well. Aren't they saying there is an AI bubble? Whoa, what AI bubble? You see, there's fantasy, CJ, and then there's reality. Let me tell you something. This so-called AI bubble, I spent 4 days in the trenches of artificial. It does not get any bigger than the convention that I just came from. Maybe you're talking about AI bubble of the way that you guys are using ChatGPT. Somebody develops an app and says it's AI. That is, an app is not artificial intelligence. It's what's underpinning it. What makes it run? The CPU chips. AMD partnered with OpenAI. Go and watch the keynotes from AMD on the Mbereket YouTube channel. It's about 2.5 hours long. Plug in. Even if it takes you 2 days, 3 days to finish watching that keynote by Dr. Lisa Su, the CEO of AMD, plug in and listen to that keynote. Listen to the keynote from Caterpillar on the Berricat playlist. Listen to the keynote from Siemens. You see, this is why I attend these things, to bring you guys all this information. Listen to the keynotes from Dr. Sue. Listen to the keynote from Joe Creed, the CEO of Caterpillar. Listen to the keynote from the CEO of Siemens and tell me, once you are done, if there's an AI bubble. CJ, in 2022, there was 1 million active daily users of AI. By 2030, there will be 5 billion daily active users of artificial intelligence. How many people are there in the world, guys? 8 billion? Does that seem like an AI bubble to you? And the world is becoming more and more connected. There are more people today that are connected via the internet than there were last year. That's not an AI bubble. That's not a technology bubble. It's advancing. You are going to live amongst humanoid robots. CJ, in this lifetime, you are going to have a robo car, meaning your vehicle will come. You don't have to drive, CJ. Your car is going to take you to work, drop you off, go off and make money while you're at work, pick you up, take you home, drop you off, go off and make money while you're sleeping, CJ. Is that an AI bubble? You are going to have humanoid housemaids doing your dishes. They're not going to call out sick. They won't be hungry. You are going to have a humanoid bartender, a humanoid chef making your meals for you. You're going to have a vehicle that talks to you, that lets you know that your oil change is due without you having to check. That is the future that NVIDIA and AMD's CJ, right now, Nigeria that's largely a construction economy. How many autonomous tractors, payloaders does Nigeria have? That's where the future is. Autonomous tractors. Nigeria that is still harvesting by hand. Nigeria that is still planting by hand. Everything is back-breaking in Nigeria. These are the challenges that companies like AMD and NVIDIA and Caterpillar and the Doosan's and the John Deere's are trying to solve. You see, I'm talking to you guys powered by Starlink. The suffer where I suffer before I can't enter Starlink, it'll be small. I haven't had a disruption in the 3 years that I've had Starlink at home. It's only going to get better. Your imagination is the only thing that is going to prevent you. See, they want you to believe that there's an AI bubble, but that's because they are not part of the conversation. They're not part of the circle. They don't travel. They don't go to events. They sit there in their little offices, not really paying attention to what's happening in the world. You see, when I go out into these things, I'm looking for shifts. Three things I'm looking for. I'm looking for what is changing? Who are the ones making those changes? And what problems will those changes solve? Do you know today doctors are misdiagnosing patients and artificial intelligence is actually correcting things? It's happening today. I'm not saying humans are going away. There's always going to be humans. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait for my own humanoid. Ah, do you think I enjoy chopping blocks outside with an axe? You know, you guys know if you follow me, you know I like fireplaces, but I gotta go chop the wood. When a humanoid can do it for me. Right now, my vehicle is parked in the driveway. It's not moving unless I move the vehicle. Imagine I'm sitting up here talking to you, but my car is off into the world making money for me. That's the future. No such thing as an AI bubble. AI has not even started. Think about it. Global adoption was what? Started in 2020. Well, I wouldn't say global adoption. I would say what? When did ChatGPT take off? Wasn't it 2022? It took the world another 2 years to really get caught onto chat. And then it exploded in what, 2024? I would say in the last 2 years, we've seen the adoption of ChatGPT and other artificial intelligence applications all over the world at a global adoption level over the past, let's say, two years. How can you have a bubble when something hasn't even started? Now, don't get me wrong, some companies, some pioneers, some companies are going to fall by the wayside. Remember what happened during the internet bubble? A lot of those dot coms went away, but some also survived. Where is the internet today? Can you do anything without internet connectivity? Try to go a day without the internet and let me know what happens. That is the same thing that's going to happen with artificial intelligence. Let me tell you, if I am disconnected, the only time I want to be disconnected from the internet is when I'm sleeping. Even then, I got to plug in my AirPods to be able to go to sleep. To me, ah, my wife raked. When I came home, I started giving her the info. She's like, everybody's going to lose their jobs. Da, 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 da. AI is going to take over the world. It is going to take over the world. So you better participate. You better get used to it. You better get used to it. You better start using AI. Otherwise, you're going to lose your job to somebody that does. What do you mean by your floor has risen? Great question, CJ. It means your absolute minimum that you will accept in anything that you do in life. Some people have a very low floor. Raise your floor. It means raise your standards. That's what I mean by my floor has risen. You see, there's no ceiling, there's only floors. Some people's floors are just too low. Their standards are just too low. What they accept, just too low. Always raise your floor if you can. That's what it means when you have a low floor. What are you willing to accept? You know what I mean? Go for it. Oh, and let us know if you want partners. Let me tell you, I honestly, this partnership thing, I honestly don't think I want again. Based on what I saw with my kuro eyes this past 4 days, I realized that I've been operating reactively I wouldn't say my entire life, I'll probably say over the past few years, I've been operating reactively and not proactively. And I was thinking about it today when I was taking the kids to school, like, man, okay, so you get a partner. You see, guy, if you're partnering with companies like Nvidia and AMD, it's different. Those are trillion-dollar companies. I'm just talking about just going and just partnering with some dude off the street. They wake up, they're in a bad mood. I don't fit. I can only vouch for my principles and my own effort and my goals and aspirations and objectives in life. So I don't think any sort of partnership is in the cards for me unless it's a partnership with an enterprise. I'm sorry. I'm going to lose friends. I'm going to probably lose some audiences. But where I am going, it's okay. I'm going to lose some audiences, but I'm more than likely going to gain more. You see, that is me raising my floor, CJ. So regarding Dangote and the rumor mongers, you see, Dangote's floor is so high. These guys can't even, let me put it in Nigerian broken English. They're no fit cough. So what do? They start spreading rumors that the guy is going out of business. When was the last time you saw a $20 billion company go out of business? You see, $20 billion, not Naira. Besides Dangote, who else do we have in Nigeria that we can literally honestly see is a global competitive company? Does anybody know? Please, if you know any company in Nigeria that can compete globally, I'm not talking about regionally in Africa, where they have a branch in Ghana, they have a branch in Togo, they have a branch in Benin Republic. I'm not talking about that. A 65-year-old country, giants of Africa on paper, nowhere to be found. African media, nowhere to be found at CES. How can you call yourself a media network? Like the channels and the Arise TVs. Okay, I remember when I was younger, you guys remember D1, Dayo, and Kenny Ogungbe. Remember those guys? during the AIT era, the Raymond Dokpesi era. You guys remember that Raymond? You see, Raymond Dokpesi was a visionaire. Dokpesi used to send, what do you call it? D1, Dayo, Ogunleye, and Kenny Ogungbe abroad to cover the Oscars, to cover the Grammys. Dokpesi did that. How many times has channels sent correspondents to cover the Oscars, to cover the Grammys? Much less CES. 1,000 plus dollars, $1,700 maybe. So if I am at the CES level of things, let me tell you, my next one, I'm optimizing for Davos in Switzerland. When is Davos? Let's look up Davos in Switzerland. This is the World Economic Forum. Let me pull this up and then I'll share with you guys once it's up. World Economic Forum. Show you guys where my mind is at. Pull up their website. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you guys in a second. Over the shoulder. Let's do this. See, this is where, guys, are you guys seeing this? This is Davos. This is the World Economic Forum. There's a little lag on my going through Zoom. It's come up. It's like a 20-second lag. There it is. So this is the World Economic Forum, weforum.org. This is my objective, guys. This is where the world meets. Let's say Davos. It happens in Davos, Switzerland every year. Annual meeting 2020. This was 2026. What was the plan for 2027? Okay, so the World Economic Forum in Davos. You see Davos, Switzerland. Ah, okay, I'm going to miss it now because it's next week. Ah, damn it. Yeah. So the 19th. So if it happens every year, then I'm probably just going to hedge for it in 2027 then. God damn it. So world leaders from government, business, civil society, and academia, they convene in Davos to engage. But since I can't make it physically, I'm probably more than likely going to follow it online, see what's going on there. But something like this is where we are going as an organization. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like I said, my floor in 2026 is already starting a lot higher than my floor in 2025. Man, I so badly wanted to do that Davos trip. Damn it. I scheduled a business meeting in Nigeria once. These people showed up 90 minutes late and didn't call ahead. I canceled the project. That's Nigeria for you. CJ said, we don't even have regular electricity in Nigeria. Of course, we are behind. Nigeria right now, I don't know who said it. I think it was Dangote that said that Nigeria is 15 years behind India across the spectrum. 15 years. That's where Nigeria is right now. You know, I love Nigeria, guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm always going to be a champion of our country. But man, I don't, I'm tired. My position today regarding Nigeria is not the same position I had when I started last year. I am always going to have investments in Nigeria, but my wife is calling. I'm always going to have, let me just, hey baby, I'm on live. Are you girls on your way home? Okay, I love you. I'll see you soon. All right. Hey baby, hey baby. I'm always going to have investments in Nigeria, guys. But I honestly don't think that I'll be scaling those investments because I have given Nigeria 5 years. You see, I'm bold. Part of it is because of Nigeria. You are stressed for no reason. You got to still sit and tell people what to do. Common sense. Sometimes, man, well, Rich, what are you saying? Are you saying we shouldn't invest anymore in Nigeria? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how much of your life are you ready to lose in terms of how many years are you ready to shave off your life? So, my position in Nigeria, guys, after 5 years of doing business in Nigeria is changing, especially coming out of the conference that I went to, and I'm sitting there, honestly, CJ, I'm not going to lie to you. With what I saw this past 4 days, Nigeria is 50 years behind. So the motivation is not, honestly, the thing sucked life out of me. It sucked. I was just looking at what's happening, looking at all these technology stacks, looking at what companies are doing, looking at China, man. China was everywhere. Not even a single, even if you sent a delegate, Nigeria, una no fit send delegates to come see what the world is doing. So when I look at these so-called media companies, you don't see channels there. You don't see Arise. You don't see TVC. Which other ones are there that they have there in Nigeria? Sahara, whatever, whatever. That tells me that they are not, their audience is not, you are only as good as the platforms that you follow. You are only as good as the content you consume. Nigeria, that is still military soldiers are guarding private land. I'm talking about the Wiki situation. Can you imagine? So the motivation wasn't there. Now, had it been Niger showed up in one way or another in any capacity, even as a media angle, just to come and see the global conversation, what's happening, where the future is going. Nigeria is still largely a reactive nation. So I left that conference defeated. Now, look, March, I'm going to San Jose. I'm going to try to go to San Jose in March to NVIDIA. Nigeria is not having the kind of conversations that my brain is accustomed to. Does it make sense? This is why my position today, January 12th, 2026, is different from my position a month ago about Nigeria. So I'm still going to invest, but I'm scaling down, unfortunately. I'm scaling down. I'm not saying you should. I am just saying after 5 years, the conversations that I'm seeing, that I'm a part of, that I'm having, that people are having around me, enterprise level conversations, Nigeria is not a part of that. Okay, I'll give you another example. One of my colleagues just came back. He went home for Dirty December. Just came back last week. I was excited. Okay, what's the new development? We are from the same place. He was like, but Rich, nothing, no. The guy he lives in Texas, but he works in Virginia. He's like, Rich, nothing, no. I'm like, what do you mean? There's nothing to write to him about. And I'm like, all of this is starting to make sense. When you are seeing all these companies leaving Nigeria, and I know that there are companies right now that are entering Nigeria while some are leaving. Man, put it this way, unless you have 20 years to give Nigeria, if you want to invest, just buy land, set it and forget it. Maybe you build an apartment complex or you build a short let, something. That's not going to stress you out. But when it comes to you trying to go to Nigeria to open a company and hire employees and manage employees, unless you are physically on the ground in Nigeria, it is not going to work out well for you. I'm sorry. There is nothing that Nigeria is doing right now, with the exception of what Dangote is doing. And even this Dangote runs is still at a very industrialized level. It's not really automated or artificially driven. AI driven. Dangote Refinery is not built around artificial intelligence. It's still built around conventional industrialized ecosystem. Dangote Refinery is not built around an artificial intelligence ecosystem. That is what worries me. You see, I look for signals. I don't look for hype. 2026. Are you excited about Nigeria? Just let's be honest. Everything you've heard so far. What are we now? We are 12 days into the new year. What is unfolding in Nigeria right now that you can say that you are excited about? Let's be honest with each other. I am excited about everything that's happening in America right now. And you guys are not going to, you're not going to be able to understand what I'm talking about unless you experience it. Okay, let's look at channels. Let's look at the website. And I'll get back to the charts. But let's just look at the website. Let's look at channels right now. And tell me if there's anything that you're excited about. Well, channelstv.com. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, here we go. Not yet. Okay, let's break down the front page of channels. You know me, I'm a businessman. So let me not even stress you out with oh, already I don't see visa. 100,000 visas revoked. Before we come to this defeating news section, oh, top stories. Let's look at, I'm a businessman. So let's look at business now and see what's happening in the business space. Heineken CEO Don Wolf, is this Nigeria? Resigns. EU offers China alternative to tariffs in electric car dispute. Eternal PFC commences 21 billion naira rights issue to drive expansion. NDIC announces liquidation dividends for Heritage Bank deposits. Don't know anything about that. Gold, silver hits records. This is US news. Google Gemini, you see, all of this are US international based news. There's one section there for Dangote Refinery. We just talked about it, like you deny petrol supply disruption claims. Tinubu hails Nigerian NGX on 100 trillion naira milestone. Or just Nigerians to invest more locally. Let's look at that for a second, guys. Let's look at this for a second. So Tinubu hails NGX, Nigerian Stock Exchange, on 100 trillion naira milestone. Urges Nigerians to invest more locally. Where now, Baba, am I investing? Let's look at what Tinubu is saying investing. Tinubu, in a statement by presidential spokesperson Bayo Nanuga, described this achievement as a historic milestone and a strong signal of renewed investor confidence in the Nigerian economy. Nigeria's capital markets outlook has shown positive signs, with the benchmark index hedging up by 0.13%, pushing total market capitalization to 102 trillion naira and lifting all share index ASI to 160,806 points. The latest gains consolidate the market's recent rally and firmly sustains its position above the psychological significance. Okay, I'm looking for signals. Where are the signals? Okay, so he's excited about the capital market surpassing the 100 trillion benchmark. Okay, where's the excitement? What is it about? Where are the signals? Okay, he's talking about investing, but invest where now, Baba? He cited industrial firms that have localized supply chains and a resilient banking sector driven by technological innovation. Technological innovation where now? Which technological innovation is he talking about? What technological IP, intellectual properties, patented technological IP does Nigeria have? When you say technological innovation, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? According to Baba, the pipeline of new listings on the NGX is robust with indigenous energy companies. Who are those indigenous energy companies? He said inflation has continued to decelerate following initial challenges from reforms, dropping from a 24-month high of, I remember that 34.8% inflation. I remember. In December 2024 to 14. Is that not a steep drop? So here's the thing. This is how inflation works. A country has to raise taxes. Well, not raise taxes. A country has to generate revenue by collecting taxes from its workers. A country also has to spend. How does a country pay for their spend? Through taxes. So let's just say, for the sake of mathematics, Nigeria spends $10 billion a year. It has to collect more than $10 billion in taxes in a country where only 20% of the population pays taxes. Where is Nigeria? How is Nigeria paying for the spend? So you can't tell me Nigeria has money. Otherwise, why would they still be borrowing for something as common as road development from China, IMF, World Bank? Oh, tax-driven economy. President Tinubu pledged to continue pursuing policies aimed at building a transparent, inclusive, and high-growth economy driven by tax and fiscal reforms that took full effect on January 1st. So, hold on, no. This is January 12th. So we are 11 days into it. And already we are celebrating. Okay, who are they collecting these taxes from? Increased participation by local institutional investors has also helped sustain momentum. Who are these local institutional investors? Like who? Give us examples of the power players. Drop names. If you count Dangote as a local investor, check. Who else? Who else? Beyond headline numbers, the expanding market capitalization is seen as a positive signal for capital formation, wealth creation, and broader economic growth. Wealth creation in what capacity? A deeper, more liquid capital markets enhances the ability of companies to raise you see, when I'm reading all this, I don't see anything. I see a lot of noise, but I don't see signals. They're not talking about the power players. They're not talking about the people who are contributing to these economies. They're not talking about the people who are paying these so-called taxes. So if we are going to drop from a 34.8% inflation in December of 2024 to 14.5% by a year later, what contributed to the inflation dropping? Does anybody know? I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Let's look at the Nigerian diaspora investment focus. I think that applies to me. I'm a diaspora investor in Nigeria. Just look at that. This was what? Yesterday, 2 days ago, January 10th. Nigerian diaspora investment focus. Walk with me on this one. Numbers and roadmap. Let's look now. How much in the single make person go chop for bukateria? Recent indicators point to a maturing investment landscape in which market depth, exports to where? Macro stability signals are influencing how Nigerians abroad allocate capital. How are Nigerians abroad allocating capital, guys? 75% of the so-called capital allocation by Nigerians in the diaspora sent home for people to pay school fees and pay bills and eat. Let's not forget the Owambe culture, burials and the funerals. Somebody would be alive in Nigeria. They haven't spoken to their family in 25, 30 years. That person dies. Everybody shows up. I had a conversation with my uncle. You see, when they call me for burial support, most of the time I hang up. Unless I am particularly close to you. They know that Richard is not the person to call for any kind of burial support. I'm sorry. I told my uncle, I want to celebrate life. Talk to me when you're alive. Ask how my kids are. That's the kind of relationship I want with people back home. We tend to value deaths and burials more than we value life. Then they all go, they'll start crying. They'll start crying. Ah, mama was this. Ah, baba was this. Where were you when they were alive? How many times did you call them? See how they're doing. How many times did you even call to check on them? I know most Nigerians, I can't blame you. Most of us don't really interact with home because the moment that you call, it opens the door for somebody begging and asking for money and what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. Let's continue on with this article, this business article from Channels TV on the Nigerian diaspora investment focus. Nigeria's diaspora is emerging as one of the most consequential forces. They are counting on your remittances, though. One of the most consequential forces shaping. Wait a minute. Instead of the word consequential, can we swap it with the word existential? Because if Nigerians in the diaspora stop sending money home today, oh boy, the country don't collapse. So they said consequential forces shaping capital flows into the country, guided increasingly by data rather than sentiments. Recent indicators point to a maturing investment landscape in which market depth, export growth, talked about the macro stability signals are influencing how Nigerians abroad allocate capital. Who are we allocating capital to? From public markets to private credit, the numbers suggest a shift toward yield, foreign exchange resilience, and sectors tied to essential demand. At the macro level, Nigeria's equity market capitalization crossing 100 trillion naira reflects stronger valuations and improving liquidity, particularly in banking. What do you mean Nigerian banking? When I like banking too much, it's like bank, bank, bank. And telecommunications. We like banking and telecommunications in Nigeria. Industrial stocks. Which industrial stocks? How many industrial stocks are healthy in Nigeria today? Non-oil exports climbed to $12 billion in 2025, underscoring growing opportunities in agro-processing and export-linked value chain. Wow, diaspora remittances of yeah. So 20.5 billion. Naim is then go continue to support consumption. What's that talk? Your remittances are sent home to support the C word, consumption. You see, this 12.8 billion that was sent for agro processing is still largely manual. It's still largely medieval. It's not automated, let alone AI powered. You see, Nigeria, in order for you to cross over into the artificial intelligence age, you got to first solve the digital side of it first. You guys remember analog now. There's analog and then there's digital. Nigeria is still an analog country. So the 20.5 billion in remittances, though, I would have thought it would be more. So I don't think so. Diaspora remittances didn't really increase compared to last year. I thought it would at least be 25 billion, maybe even 30 billion is a stretch. But the 20 billion, I don't know how accurate that is. Together with a projected 18.81 billion current account surplus and a widely adopted 1,700 naira to a dollar planning benchmark. These signals are helping investors model naira risk with greater clarity. My kids are wrong. Sectorially, capital is concentrating where returns are most visible and demand is most resilient. Diaspora-led real estate investments remain strong in Lagos, Abuja, and select secondary city. Uyo is one of those select secondary cities. I still feel real estate-led investment is still it's still a good way. It's still a good investment opportunity. I know that there's high rental demand, but in order for you to be able to compete on the rental scale, you got to build international standard properties, though. Central AC, dishwasher, 24/7 electricity. How many real estate investors can really say they're doing that? Public equities are attracting long-term investors. You see, me, that's what I'm interested in. You see, when I say that I'm scaling back in Nigeria, I'm scaling back from the hands-on break your back investments. Let others break their back. I'll just invest in Dangote stocks. The way that I'm treating US stocks and securities is the way I'm going to be treating Nigerian stocks. I don't have to worry. I invest and I relax and I just let the global market do its thing. The reason why I actually can't wait for the Dangote stocks is because he's hedging it on the international market. He says public equities are attracting long-term investors seeking dividends, yield, while agribusiness, power infrastructure, fintech, all these so-called fintech companies in Nigeria are really not financial technology companies, to be honest with you guys. So don't get fooled by that buzzword. Don't get carried away. True fintech is in the United States. Nigerians are largely piggybacking or using the American tech stack. There is no homegrown. There's no true homegrown fintech company in Nigeria. You see those guys, the Flutterwave guys, all those guys are all based abroad. I think Flutterwave is headquartered in Silicon Valley in the United States. Where's MoneyPoint's headquartered? MoneyPoint headquarter. I don't know if you type today. It's a Nigerian fintech company based in Lagos. Oh, see, MoneyPoint Inc. is headquartered in London, England. See what I mean? Despite persistent risk around policy regulation and execution, the direction of diaspora capital is clear. Investors are prioritizing assets that combine yield, FX protection, and real economy relevance. Housing, food, power, payments, and well-governed corporates. As Nigeria navigates its next economic cycle, the diaspora's increasingly disciplined approach is shaping not just where money goes, but how sustainable long-term investment is defined. So let's look at the key numbers and the data below. Niger numbers, diaspora investor focus. 102 trillion naira. Nigeria's equity market capitalization. Okay. Interesting. Consumer stocks. Why didn't they name the stocks that are performing though? So this 102 trillion naira is driven by which uh, positions, like which companies? Is it the Dangote cement? Is it the Boa Foods? Is it the banking uh, equity markets? Brian, if you are investing in stocks right now from abroad, where should we be looking? Because I'm currently not looking past Boa and Dangote IPO when it drops. Currently not looking past those two positions. So the 12.8 billion non-oil exports expanded by 21% in 2025, led by cocoa, cashew, sesame, fertilizer, and agro-processing. I can see cocoa doing its thing. I can see cashew, sesame, I can see fertilizer, I can see because of Dangote. When I see palm oil there, I don't see palm oil. When I see Gary, I don't see Gary. That's interesting. I'm going to have to check the NEPC website to see what else is contributing to that $12.2 billion non-oil exports. You know what I mean? $18.1 billion. The Central Bank of Nigeria projects Nigeria's current account balance will rise to 18.1 billion in 2026 from 16.94 billion in 2025, easing external pressures on supporting. That's actually lower. I was projecting at least around 20 something billion dollars. That's what I thought Nigeria had in the bank. $20.5 billion in diaspora remittances remained a major source of foreign exchange in 2025, underpinning consumer spending. That's also a low number. I don't think the actual true numbers are in. Have they factored in 30 December? I still think it's too early for you for that figure. It's only January 12th. We're only 12 days into the new year. Technically and generally, guys, things like this, the data, the figures generally don't come out until like March or April. Usually at the tail end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter is when figures and data from the previous year starts coming in. So I think this 20.5 billion is all these guys is all premature numbers. I don't think that they're accurate. $458 billion naira electricity distribution companies. Hey baby, Kate's just got back. 458 billion electricity distribution companies recorded operational improvements in Q3 of 2025. Let's look at this GDP. 3.3% estimated GDP growth, driven by services, telecommunications, agriculture, and digital trade. 1,700 naira to a dollar exchange rate planning benchmark, widely adopted by corporates. So then why am I paying 14.50? Where the money is going, public equities, increased activity in banking, telecoms, industrial stocks. It's a good one. Real estate, diasporas, Lagos, always number one. Again, Abuja, I don't know. Abuja to me is a questionable market. It's a very, very risky market. But I'm not surprised to see it on that list. Look into other markets like smaller markets. Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Ogun, large eyes from Ogun, or Oshun, that area. Look at us. Don't you dare go to Niger State. Land in Niger State right now is like 50,000 naira. If some don't do it. Risky. Bono, Kebbi, Kwara, risky. Agribusiness and export processing, rising investments in cocoa. They talked about that. Energy and power, fintech and digital services. Like I said, most of these fintech, so-called fintech companies in Nigeria, they are not really true fintech companies. Digital services, what are those? Are those maybe on Fiverr? People are working remotely. Is that what it means? Digital commerce. Does Nigeria really have a strong, robust digital commerce? I know sites like what do you call it? Gigi. I shop there occasionally. Channels Niger Connect Insight Diaspora Takeaway. So let's look at the Nigeria Diaspora Investment Map for 2025-2026. Where capital is flowing, what is driving returns, what to watch. Who wrote this article? This is actually well detailed. Normally, Channels doesn't really write detailed articles. Who wrote this? What's the name? It just says Channels TV. It doesn't have a. Oh, I would have loved to reach out to the writer. But this is good. This is good detailed stuff. Normally they just put like two or three sentences and that's it. So let's wrap this article with the public markets. That's where the diaspora investments. That's where the capital went. Risk watch. I like this. FX volatility policy shift. Real estate diaspora led demand. Remittance inflows. Rental demand in Lagos, Abuja. Oh, Ibadan is on that list. Laja, are you not from Ibadan? Is Ibadan Ogun State? Title integrity. Keep that in mind for those investing in real estate. Agricultural and export value chain. Non-oil is $12 billion. Okay. So you guys can go. I'm not going to recap the rest of this, but you can go and just visit Channels TV. Not Channels TV, channelstv.com. I usually check the business news section first to see what's happening in Nigeria. And then, of course, you come to the homepage and then you say something like this. This whole visa thing, I don't even want to cover it today because I'll probably be here all day. But let's go ahead and crop out of that. And I will answer some of you guys' questions before we go. And then we'll wrap up. I wasn't expecting, how long have I been on this? How long has this thing been? How long have we been going? We've been going for what? Okay, let me take some questions and then we'll wrap up. Prayers for the Chimananda family. Losing your child while on vacation to Nigeria is heartbreaking. What happened? What happened? Who lost somebody in Nigeria? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's not good. Wow. Those cars already exist. I want AI to invest for what is M for me? Look into the Nvidia now, CJ. You should be able to invest in Nvidia and AMD. CJ will have internet withdrawal syndrome if you take a phone. Mr. America is about to lose his podcast to AI. Never. Never. Maybe I'll have an AI guest with me, like a humanoid, and that's gonna be like my guest. I knew Dayo and Kenny from college in California. They returned to Nigeria after graduation. Yes, yes. Dayo school. They both schooled in the US. You see, people like Raymond Dokbesi, guys, they don't make people like that anymore. Raymond Dokbesi of AIT was a visionary. Where is, okay, since Raymond Dokbesi died, who can we compare to Raymond Dokbesi? People that just shut their mouth and did business. Everybody these days, everyone is chasing clouds. Everybody is chasing government position. I will probably say the closest, even though they are not on the same level, will be Dangote. Besides that, who else can we compare to Raymond Dokbesi of AIT? 15 years behind India is being generous. You think we're behind longer than that? If we're 15 years behind India, how far back from the US are we? Hey, Nigeria is like at least a century. You are right. We are a century behind US. I'm sorry. The Nigerian conversation should have grown beyond Lagos. Thank you. Now, me and my boy talked about this the other day. The guy lives in Atlanta. He called me from Canada. He went to Canada to visit his daughter. The conversation of Lagos Abuja. How long are we going to have this Lagos Abuja conversation? Hey, there is no other market. Port Harcourt was in the conversation for a very long time, but then it kind of seems lately Port Harcourt is more internal. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, Abuja is kind of fading away a little bit. Now it's just lag, 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 lag. That is not growth to me now. That is not progressing to me. That's regressing. I should be hearing about Ibadan, Owerri, Uyo, Sokoto. You should be, but you're not really. Out of all those people that you just mentioned, the Owerri, Ibadan, Sokoto, Jos, Kaduna, let's just say tourism-wise, how many of them are there promoting the cities? Really? To to attract diaspora investments or foreign direct investments. It doesn't always have to be diaspora. Does it mean that those states, those cities that you mentioned, they have state governors, don't they? They do, but where are they? Look, I'll wrap with this. Uh, I was at a convention, I'm not even going to say the name, here in the US. The governor of the state of that convention was supposed to attend. Most people travel to that convention hoping to see the governor of the state there. The man didn't show up. Not only the man did not show up, you couldn't even record a message on video for them to play at the convention apologizing for not being there. You know what I'm talking about. Where's that goodwill? Showing that you care, or you could have made it, but something happened, and something like that. Isn't that what they do in the Western world? A president of a country, a company can show up, they get on the video, and then they cut a little 30-minute promo or 30-second promo. This guy did not show, and he didn't record a video. And people flew there to the convention hoping to see him. No show in person, no show on video. The opening page of a news channel web page is supposed to be captivating. Okay, let's try the Wall Street Journal. Let's see if that one is captivating. That is a let me share my screen with you. So this is the business channel, but let's go to the homepage of the Wall Street Journal. Trump has complained about Pam Bondi repeatedly to aides. I don't see any. Well, anyway, this is just one platform, though. This is WSJ. WSJ is more of a business news, but I'm sure that there are other like um not so business friendly platforms out there. OpenAI is set to run another Super Bowl ad as chatbot. Guys, I don't have time. Otherwise, I'll cover some more of this. But this is honestly, guys, this is where I spend most of my day. Is on the Wall Street Journal. I'm particularly interested in the business section of the Wall Street Journal. And then from there, I look at deals. I told you guys before, if you're going to read something in a newspaper, go to the deals, read transactions. What company is buying what company? This is another huge thing that I read is the deals section of the Wall Street Journal. At least I'll do a minimum of one article a day to see who's buying whom. Merck to buy. I read this. Yes, I read this while I was at the convention. Kind of see how money grows and how money exchanges hands. So this is why I spend most of my time on the Wall Street Journal. I read business and occasionally, like I said, I'm not really a tech person like that. Occasionally I browse, but I spend most of my time on the homepage and also on the business section. So Alphabet becomes newest $4 trillion company joining Nvidia. So CJ, you that want to invest in AI, you better start investing in Alphabet and companies like Nvidia. So these are $4 trillion companies. To something like this, if you're interested in tech, artificial intelligence, you may want to subscribe. So the Wall Street Journal is $40 a month is what I pay as a subscriber. But when I'm relaxing, if I'm not listening to podcasts, I usually just scroll through the business section, read who's buying whom. In this case, look at Alphabet, $4 trillion company joining Nvidia. Okay, guys, the family is home, so I got to get going, man. This was fun. We're going to catch up tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'm going to try and schedule something for tomorrow. If there's anything in particular you guys want to talk about tomorrow, let me know and I'll schedule it. But I'm happy to be back. I'm gonna check my schedule to see where my next conference is, but and then see, what I have going on. But definitely I'm going to put that NVIDIA conference in mid-March on my calendar because I'm really interested in NVIDIA. Okay? All right, guys, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. I appreciate all of you. Hey, be sure to like, share, and comment. And if you have not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. The more you guys subscribe and interact and comment and share, it helps with our analytics. We are currently at how many subscribers are we? I know we are close to 21,000. How many? Oh, we are 20,934 subscribers right now. Man, we've come a long way from like 4,000 a few months ago to 20,934, all because of you watching from all over the world. Let me check. Let me tell you guys where our audience, where you guys are watching from. It's the majority of you. Geography. Ha! United States is number one.
Nigeria is number two. I'm talking about our audience geography. UK is number three. Canada is number four. South Africa in the house. Number five. Kenya, number six. Ghana, number seven. Uganda. Number eight. But the majority of our audience are US viewers. But thank you all for your Huffington Post. I used to do until you see I like the Huffington Post where Ariana Huffington was running it. Then when she sold it, I kind of stopped following them. All right, guys. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Talk to you guys later. I gotta catch up with the